Gone are the days where you would just go out for a jog accompanied by your trusty Walkman. Even the Discman that followed afterwards has become a relic of the not-so-distant past. Do you even remember the last time you listened to an audio CD? The rapid pace of technology and digitization has completely revolutionized the way we listen to music, and has even affected the relationships between artists, record companies, promoters, retail music stores, the technology industry, and you, the consumer. This may even lead to drastic changes in copyright laws, as the digital music phenomena has had an obvious economic impact. And to think that all of this was brought about by a tiny little thing that we know as the internet. The birth of the 21st century brought with it the dawn of peer-to-peer or P2P networks. The pioneering P2P program was Napster, originated by 17-year-old college freshman Sean Fanning. Once Napster was launched in early 1999, it became the hottest thing to hit the net, and Fanning rose to fame.
However, shortly afterwards, due to the fact that he was letting people download music for free, Napster was slapped with several lawsuits for copyright infringement, including some from rock band Metallica, Yale University, Indiana University, and the University of Southern California.
Sadly, it had to eventually close down, but it had changed the music business forever, paving the way for other P2P programs like Kazaa, Morpheus, iMesh, and LimeWire, who had learned from the mistakes Napster made and were more stealthy in their approach. Now, 2001 saw a significant drop in the cost of hard drive space, which allowed for you to have more songs on your computer. And 2 years later, the world was introduced to the iTunes Store.
Apple's digital media store started off with 200,000 items to purchase, and by 2009 they had sold 6 billion songs, which according to them accounts for 70% of worldwide online music sales, hence making them the largest legal music retailer.
Why are they legal? Because they charge money for their songs. The amount usually ranges between 69 cents and $1.29 per song. Now, there are still millions of people who pocket their pennies and get their online music for free via file sharing either through P2P or through BitTorrents. Now, this is the biggest form of piracy and copyright infringement the world has ever seen, and has greatly affected industry trade groups like the Recording Industry Association of America. As the music shared on the net is free, that means that the people who should be getting the profits from it, like the record labels, the retailers, and the artists, are not. And this has led to a continuing downward trend in music sales, resulting in massive losses.
The only way to combat such illegal activity is through lawsuits, and the recording industry has done exactly that, with lawsuits against about 35,000 people since 2003 for allegedly stealing music via the internet. Some of these cases have been massive blunders.
They sued 83-year-old Gertrude Walton for apparently sharing over 700 songs on a P2P network. Little did they know that Miss Walton had passed away about a year before, and during her life wouldn't even allow a computer in her house. Then they got to a 12-year-old girl and forced her to pay $2,000, or about $2 per song that she allegedly shared. Talk about stealing candy from a baby. Another recent crackdown was on the torrent site, the Pirate Bay. More specifically, they were trialed and found guilty for copyright infringement, including damages of up to $13 million. Now, this obviously led to a public relations fiasco for the industry. This legal offensive, however, has ultimately proved to be useless, as it's done little to decrease the flow of illegally downloaded music. The recording industry is now looking for more effective ways to battle online music piracy. They're looking at an approach that relies on the cooperation of internet service providers.
While the piracy battle goes on, at the same time, more people are now willing to pay for their downloaded music through sites like iTunes. This shows a growing trend towards digital music sales, which could eventually surpass CD sales and lead to a new business model for the industry.
The first milestone towards this goal was achieved by Atlantic Records in 2008, when it appeared to be the first major label to claim that most of its revenue came from digital sales, without a steep decline in CD sales. Although digital music is taking over the industry, piracy is still causing the music industry as a whole to continue shrinking. 1999's $14.6 billion worth of US music sales dropped to just $10.1 billion in 2008, and that figure is predicted to drop to as low as $9.2 billion by 2013. So, apart from Atlantic Records, other music companies still linger in the past, as CD sales still account for more than 2/3 of music sales in the overall music industry. According to Forrester Research, digital music is not expected to reach 50% of the overall pie until 2011.
However, the change is inevitable, and record companies know that. As they won't be making as much money as they are right now, the industry has devised a variety of revenue streams to compensate for the loss.
This includes concert ticket sales and merchandise from the artists' tours. It won't be as simple as keeping track of CD sales, as digital sales come from a variety of sources like ringtones, ringbacks, satellite radio, iTunes sales, and subscription services.
As the market is shrinking, their budgets will force them into cutbacks, which means less spending on music videos and publicity tours.
The result is a smaller music industry that will eventually have to shift its focus to digital downloads.
They will accommodate that proportion of the population that is willing to pay for their music and could eventually even curb free access to music.
And so, the saga of the digital download dilemma continues into the 2010s. Will we be able to overcome online music piracy? Will the sales of compact discs eventually come to a halt? Well, only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, digital music seems to be here to stay.
DARPA, the Pentagon's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, recently conducted an experiment where people were challenged to locate 10 large red weather balloons hidden across secret locations throughout the US. DARPA encouraged the competitors to discover the whereabouts of the balloons through the help of the internet and social networking sites. 9 hours after announcing the challenge, the $40,000 in prize money was won by a team of researchers at MIT who apparently created a viral campaign in order to get people to report information they gleaned about the locations. The experiment was staged to see how the net could help with rapid problem solving. Twittering tech to tweak your tweets? Napster nostalgia, and a whole bunch of our usual information overload. Let us know about your tech problems, discoveries, or tips on I-Techie at DawnNews.tv.